Hello, hello, hello.
Hey
Um,
y'all!
this is interesting. I've heard some other people. I mean, I've had several people comment about the book club and asking how to participate and when we're going to do it again and all kinds of stuff. So I'm hoping we get a few more people. I'm hoping it starts to grow a little bit because they're asking. Somebody actually told me today that they were going to go buy the book. I am here. I am not here. Joe.
So,
Oh boy. Okay, Joe. Well, hello, Shatika and Vanessa and Karen and Deborah and Joe, who may
and
not be
Suzanne.
Joe, who might not be Joe, or I don't know. And Sue's here. What is this hair doing right here? What is this? Why is it doing that? I don't like that. Let's trying to make it not do that.
It wants to go on an adventure, Mindy.
Stop
It says, give
it.
me
I
an
don't like
adventure.
it. Maybe if I just tuck it behind my ear, it won't do that. There's that. Okay. Anyhow, yes. Hi. Hi. So, what y'all up to? Uh, Trina's here. Lynn's here. See?
Hey,
See? Oh,
I think
Lynn.
there's going to be, I think there feels like there's been more people joining in
Hmm.
and reading it and watching and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. And I'll get more people that watch the video on replay afterwards and stuff. So the videos are getting more views when we're done and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's getting a little more popular. So there you go. We'll just keep
there
doing
you
it, right? Keep doing it. Keep advertising. Keep advertising, right?
go. That's right.
There. Yes, Joe read it, Sue. Yes. It was his
It was
suggestion.
his
He
book.
better have read it, right? If he didn't read it, he's in trouble.
If he didn't, we were going to have to hog tie him and
That's
say,
right.
Joe.
That's right. That's
Sorry.
right. Gonna drive over to Missouri and I don't know. So
All right, Joe.
Karen, you're enjoying it. Brandy and I talked.
I'm,
Brandy and I talked briefly on her way home from school. Briefly, Sue and I talked about it briefly this morning. No real details or anything, but both of them were like, "Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Didn't you just want to keep reading? Keep reading! I just want to keep going. I'm so excited. This is so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, it's all right."
I know. I was all excited. Minnie's like, I'm like, I am so totally invested in her right now.
I did. I just kind of
Oh,
went, it's all right, I'm not jumping for joy. I'm not, I'm not like, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of setup. I understand that. Sometimes I'm the kind of person I'm like, come on, let's get to it. Let's get to it. You know, you're supposed to be in the magical world fighting enemies and stuff and magic stuff happening. Get there. Just get there. Come
but
on.
you need to understand her background. She wasn't raised around the magical people. So that means that when she discovers it, it's going to be all that more, what the heck? Because
Okay.
she didn't know.
Well,
And I told you, one of the reasons I think I'm invested in her is probably because since I went to Ireland my senior year, we were in Galway and I actually went through Bunratty Castle. So the things that she's talking about that she's seeing, I went to those little huts. I went inside that castle and it's just like it's bringing all. I went to the Cliffs of Moher. I kept saying it wrong the whole time. I kept calling it the Cliffs of Moher, and that's not it. It's Cliffs of Moher. So yeah, I found that out just last year and I've been saying it wrong. But I mean, like, it's so cool for me because it brings me back to being there.
look at Lynn. She's like, I confess, I kept reading. Lynn.
Oh,
Now I stopped.
shame.
I actually just finished it this morning. I had about 10 pages to read this morning. So I finished it this morning. And then I was like, okay, boom, close the book, done. Yep, good. Yeah, I guess, you do have some personal connection there. I don't. I've never been anywhere. So,
Oh, yeah, and some of us, it was so funny. Okay, look, we're high schoolers. We should have known better. But at the same time, like, I'm not kidding. First off, we kept hunting for four-leaf clovers. And we did try like looking to see if we found any leprechauns or
Why
fairies and
were you
stuff.
looking for four-leaf clovers there?
Well, we went on St. Patrick's, or we went for St. Patrick's Day
Oh.
because we were in the St. Patrick's Day
So
parade.
you thought if you
So
found a four-leaf clover around St. Patrick's Day while you were in Ireland, something fantastic would happen? Okay.
yeah, I kissed the Blarney Stone. I got to see all kinds of cool stuff. We
My
did
husband asks
sneak
me
out
quite
a little bit before.
my husband asks me quite often if I want
Huh?
to kiss the my husband asks me quite often if I want to kiss the Blarney Stones.
It's fun. Never mind. I just caused that reference. But if you have to do to kiss them Barney Stones, what I had to do, because they had to hold me by my ankles, because the true Blarney Stone is all the way like here's the wall, okay, and the Blarney Stone is like right here, and then there's nothing right here. They have a grate here, so you literally, most people they hang down and they kiss about here, and I was determined I was going to kiss the real thing, so they hung me by my ankles. I got down here and I had to kind of swing myself and said, "Don't let go." And I kissed it, and I said, "Okay, bring me up."
So what was underneath that they let go and you fell? You're deaf? Would you die?
Well, there was a grate there, but you would still. I don't know how you'd survive. They'd still have to get. I don't know, because the grate wasn't like closed grate. It was like just a couple of bars extending.
So in other words, that was stupid.
But they did warn you, take up all your stuff. And they had two people. They had one on each side holding you, and so a lot of people, because they would like do like this, like hold you down like this. So most of the people, like I said, they barely kissed the bottom. And I was like, "So where exactly is the Blarney Stone?" And they pointed it out, and I'm like, "All the way down there." They said, "Uh-huh. Do you think you can handle it?" I think I can handle it. Put me down there. So.
Oh boy. Okay.
So that's why I'm loving this book, because that was some of the funnest time, and so I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
Well, I will say, the little snippets of things that we're getting, there's just little snippets. I'm like, like the silver-haired man that's everywhere, that's just following. He seems to be leading her. He is. I think we read something about it's his job, right? And so he's leading her the direction he needs her to go. And if she wouldn't have voluntarily gone, he would have had to have been more forceful to make sure she headed the direction she was supposed to go, right? So there's that.
Right.
But
at the same time, we don't know necessarily, is he good? Is he bad? Is he evil? Is he fey? He's got to be fey because he disappears, right?
Right.
And then we also met, obviously, the Falconeer doesn't work for the Falconeer thing, so she's got to be fey too.
There's something going on with her, right? Why was she there? She just kind of disappeared back out into the bushes and she was gone, and then she doesn't exist. They don't know her, right? Yeah.
And she has all this connection. I'm telling you, she definitely has fey in her. Has to. Number one, her name is different when they say her name, and the fact that these animals seem to clue in straight to her eyes, and like they have this connection. She said there's that click, and then of course we know that she touched those flowers and could feel them growing, but she thought she just needed more coffee, or she just needed some coffee, because she didn't even see that they actually did grow after she walked away.
No, Lynn, we don't want to know anything about him, Miss Rita. Head, Lynn, no.
Joe's never heard of the Blarney Stone. I'll tell you this much, Joe. Do you know what the purpose of the Blarney Stone is? No. If you kiss the Blarney Stone, you have the gift of gab.
Oh, good.
Now, the problem is that I already talked a lot before I ever touched this stone. And so then it just helped me talk more.
Can you unkiss it?
I'm not going to unkiss it. I need to talk for my job. So,
You don't need to talk that much.
Lord, I stay quiet in that classroom. I hear things I don't even want to hear.
Uh-oh. Helen couldn't stop, and she's 3/4 of the way done. People people, listen.
Oh, that's so bad.
You're
Y'all, I
only supposed to read page
controlled myself.
120. 120. Look, I have my booklet on there and everything still. See, I read
I
it night.
mean, look, I controlled myself and it was difficult. Y'all.
I don't have a problem stopping when it's time to stop with any of these. I can stop and then because I mean I'll have other things I'm reading and stuff. So,
Well, yeah.
although
I
I
mean, I do
don't this
too.
week, honestly, I don't have another physical book going this week. I don't. I
Oh,
finished because I took the first part of the week and I finished X Talk, right? And
yeah.
then I started with this one. And this one actually took me a little while because I only read a little bit at a time. So it took me a little while. I think I started reading it on, gosh, I don't know, Tuesday maybe. And I just read a little bit at a time. So, anyhow. Right, Joe? Just
I,
barely got to 120, right?
I started Sunday night. I read for about 30 minutes. And then I did read for an hour and finished it up last night.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't read.
And I was just like, oh, I
Oh,
wanted to
Deborah
get
reread
going.
it. Now, see, there's a
But
good
I have my
idea
other book.
for all of you people who want to just keep reading. Go back and reread the other part already. There you go. Oh, and Lynn, well,
So
it's
what do you think
easier
of her best friend?
when you're listening to it. It's easier to just like listen all the time. I physically pick up the book and read it, so I might read for 15 minutes at a time. And 120 pages at 15 minutes a time takes you a while to do that. So, anyhow.
Yeah, it does.
So,
What do you think of her best friend? I love him.
oh, he's
I
all
love
right.
him.
I mean,
He's he's fabulous. He's fabulous. Her mother, on the other hand,
well,
y'all, if that had been done to me, I'm telling you right now, after going through everything that I did, and the fact that she's a teacher, or I mean, like really, she's a teacher. So that kind of hits you and me. But could you imagine going through all of that, going through all your student loans, scraping, scrounging, counting every single solitary penny, and find out you got $4 million?
yeah, no. And your
Oh,
mother
my
just
mama
keeps
would be
it
in
from
so
you,
much
right?
trouble.
I know. I would have smacked her upside of her head. What's wrong with you, lady? You let me struggle and all this stuff when I got money? I know. Yeah, she crazy.
I'm like, I've gone hungry. I've been eating ramen noodles.
Yeah.
And portioning the ramen noodles out so I have food for the whole day. And I got $4 million sitting there.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know. Yep. Some people, let me tell you, some people. Oh my gosh. She quit her job. You're gonna quit
if
your
I
job,
had $4 million, yes.
Brandy?
Yeah, if I had $4 million,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, hey, I think I'll stay to the end of the year. Maybe if you're lucky, if you're nice to me, I'll stay to the end of the year.
Oh,
but then and I'm out.
With $4 million, I'd be gone the next day. I would have been gone the next day. No.
It'd be like, no. There's all my stuff. Keep it. I'm not even unpacking my classroom.
Right.
Y'all can have it. Have it as is.
The next person can have all that stuff. I'll take my personal things that I want. And I'm out. Gone. Bye. Right? Right, Joe? It wouldn't take me. Wouldn't take me a hot second to be done. Nope. Anyhow, I think the interesting thing is the life that she lives is so probably makes her mother crazy. She's a teacher and she was like forced to become a teacher, really. She was told
by her mom
to become a teacher. She had to be a teacher. But yet at night she goes to this club with the cross dressers and the whatevers and it's like a wild place, right? And yet she's not really like that. She's not like that, but it's so
no
fun.
But she enjoys being. See, she may be introverted, but she, it's that opposites attract thing. She enjoys getting to hang out with people that are fun, because by extension she gets to be a little fun too.
Right. And then the one drag queen, actually, she has become more her mother than her mother was.
Yep.
Takes better care of her than her
Yep.
mom did. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so you could purchase a yarn store. Absolutely, I could. Give me $4 million. We'll have yarn. I just told Brandy. Oh
I mean,
my
you'd be like, okay, here we go.
God. I just told Brandy I just purchased some yarn tonight at 5 o'clock. 5:01. 5:01. Because it went on sale at 5 o'clock. It's one of my favorite YouTube people. She gets yarn and she has it hand dyed. A company hand dyes it for her. And she gets it only a couple times a year. And so she put out a bunch of skeins today and they literally sell out in like 5-10 minutes. So I'm like, get there. I'm going to get me some. I'm going to get me some. So I can say I got me some bag a day crochet yarn. It's not technically her yarn, but it's made for her. She names it. She comes up with the colors and he dyes them and all that stuff. Anyhow.
Yeah, I follow her too.
Yeah. So I got some of her
But
and she won't order any more yarn from him until like the fall, maybe winter time. And I'm like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get me some. And I did. So anyhow, it's one of those things, you're like, you're gonna miss
yeah,
out.
Trina, I like her friends.
What?
But yeah, Trina, I like her friends too. They're nice and they're supportive. I mean, that's the one thing her mom's not.
So here's my question.
But now I wonder. Oh, okay.
Here's my question. What's going to happen when she takes off to go to this magical world to, I'm assuming, become like their main person that's going to, be all powerful and fight the evil, whatever the evil is. So what happens to her life that we know now? What's going to happen there? Is she going to always stay over there in this magical realm somewhere? Can she go back and forth? I don't understand. How can it be two things?
Well, okay. So I have some thoughts on that. First off, her dreams kind of give us a little bit of foreshadowing because of the fact that, like, I honestly think, number one, her mother knows that she's Fae. I think her mother knows that her dad's Fae. And I think that they were living in Ireland and she was young and she has been there. But I think maybe because there's got to be there was foretelling that she was going to be powerful or whatever, and people were going to come after her. So I'm thinking that, she had a little bit of like a mind wipe so that she could go and live in the other world.
What'd you just say? She had a what?
Mind wipe.
A mind wipe?
Mind wipe. Yes.
Okay.
Like they took out those memories and now they're starting, now that she's in Ireland, they're starting to trickle back in. And see, with the Fae world being different from the human world, there's a lot of different stories that say that time and that's one of the reasons, because Fae are technically immortal, and so, or they age but very slowly, but that's because time passes differently so like it may be 10 years in Fae world and 2 hours in the human world.
So that's why the lady that owns the cottage looks so young, you think?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Deborah, it's purple and teal, by the way. I know, right? Joe, I'd support you. I support you, Joe. I might not go off into some fantasy world with you, but
I'll go, Joe. I'll go. I want to ride the dragons.
That's the other question that we've had. No, Lynn. No, Lynn. No answering from you. No. Brandy and I think Sue and I have both asked that same question. Is the dad still alive? Will she run into the dad? What's going to happen with the dad? I think it's interesting, coincidental, but yet not coincidental that she ends up in the pub that her dad used to play at, right?
with his picture.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
his picture's still there. They know him, all that kind of jazz, right? Yeah. Coincidence, not
Yep.
coincidence. Here, it's time for you to go outside. Go. Come on.
Go, go, go.
Puppy dogs. Yeah. So,
And I think there's a possibility. Could it be that he is actually that leader? You know, that we saw in the prologue. You know, is it possible that he is that clan leader, and so she would be, you know, within that same
I don't know.
family, that royal lineage?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, at the very beginning, which it's interesting that it started in that world very briefly, right? Lynn's like, I have to go upstairs. She's going to say
Yeah.
too much. um, so there's a lady. It's a woman that's the power in that realm right now. She's all powerful, and then these brothers and whatnot are the ones that had to dive to get the. Is it a sword? A sword or something?
Sword, yes.
Yeah. And the one guy comes up with the sword, and then she's like, I was hoping it was going to be you, and all this stuff, right? So we don't know who that is or when that happened. It kind of is boggling my mind right now that, I mean, because I've read fantasies before, and it's just like, you're in the world, and it's a different world, and it's a whole different reality, and all this stuff's going on. And, like when we read Sarah J. Maas, it was, you were there. Everything was happening. Well, everything was there, but it wasn't. This one's just like, I don't know. It's boggling my mind how you can go from one to the other or whatever. I don't know. So Sue thinks that boy
like I said, I'm
under the
interested.
water is her dad. I don't know.
That's who I'm thinking it is too. And I'm, like I said, I'm thinking honestly that she may have chosen to take the track of time moves differently in one world. But I will say, saying what Sue said, are kind of like going on Sue about the cottage. Is it just me, or did anybody else notice that she kind of made the lady made a slip, like, this is your cottage, not you're staying here. This is like, it almost felt like she was saying, this is your cottage, like yours. Or was I just wrong about that?
I don't know. I didn't necessarily pick up on it. Oh, you had to leave the room so your husband. Oh, I know, Joe. The prologue. I'm like, okay.
Okay, see, Karen noticed it too, so I'm not the only one. Okay.
All right. Well, there you
Yep.
go.
Okay.
You've been vindicated. There you go. Oh boy. So
It's her place, and it's supposed to be her place. So I'm like, oh.
But that's in the real world.
He's like, I don't get it.
That's in the real world, right? I mean, is she just going to stay there when she's in the real world, and then she can go to the magical world? Could she come back? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it is in the real world, but I feel like it's on the boundary. Like, part of her house or part of her land is that boundary between the Fae world and her. So she's right there next to the woods.
Like,
and
if she takes off into the woods, she's automatically going to go be in the Fae world then?
I mean, yeah, because I mean, like, the Fae world is kind of one of those, like, it's, I mean, I may be wrong. I'm just basing it kind of off of other Fae stuff that I've read, which is like, it's not necessarily like the reason you disappear is because it's like, it's almost that you have gone over into another like dimension, sort of. So like you could go through the woods, and if you are a Fae or invited by the Fae, then you're going to go transport to that land. Whereas a human could walk through there and they're just going to see woods. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Alrighty then. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. You have to read more. Okay. Oh, Helen. Helen and Lynn, they're the troublemakers right now. Come on, right? All right. So I worked out the next section. We figured out 120 pages is about what we're reading each time. That takes us through chapter 17. Chapter 7.
Okay, so read 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't read 18. Okay, gotcha.
Don't read 18. No. Nope.
And see, the reason I say this every time and double check is because when it gets Sunday night or Monday night, I go back and I rewatch, and then I hear myself say, "Stop at," and that's when I know where to stop.
You listen to yourself and you go, I stop here. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I do this. I just have I just put my little bookmarker thing in there. That's where I stop.
I should have gotten it and I'm liking it so much that I may still go and buy it like in person, but I knew I wasn't going to get my money. So I didn't get my money. I didn't get paid till Monday. So I was scared. Obviously I wouldn't have gotten it in time. So that's why I did it.
All right. So Helen, you went 3/4 of the way. So you're back in here somewhere. Lynn, how far did you go?
I know, make myself a note, right, Joe?
Are you already gonna be past where we're stopping for this one?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Next thing we know, they're gonna read the whole thing. They're not gonna be able to wait. You know they ain't gonna be able to.
They'll have read the whole book, they'll be done, and we'll be like, okay.
They'll be like, don't tell me I can't read anymore. I gotta wait. No.
Oh, so Sue told me yesterday that the third one is slated to come out already. Yeah, I know, right? So we know the second one's on the shelves. You can go get the second one right now, but the third one, yes, Sue, finish chapter 17. Do not read 18. But I don't know when it's coming out for sure, but I mean, I didn't finish the last series that we read, you guys. I mean, I only read the first 2 of those. There you go, Deborah. Stop reading and go diamond paint, or go read another book. Go read another book. Oh my gosh, Lynn's going to be finished in a couple days or hours.
That's what I have to do.
Lynn, stop.
That's what I have to do. I have other books.
Yeah.
Although now that I've read I found this series, a Disney series that's all about villains, the Disney villains, and it's like their story. You still hear some of the the actual story, but like they give you some background on the villains to maybe where you can feel maybe a little bit for them, and they trick you. They give you the first 2 books on Kindle for free. Then they hook you, and then you got to pay $10.99 to read the rest of them.
Wow, you can get the audio CD for the new book for $40. Are you serious? Yeah, it's not coming out for a while. The Kindle, the title won't be delivered until November 22nd. It's a while yet. It's a while.
Ooh, that's gonna be a while.
Yep. So anyhow. Oh. Don't go read synopsises. Just don't go do that.
No, don't do that. Mindy,
I just read a little
you're going to find out information. Mindy, no, you're going to find out information we're not supposed to know yet.
Yeah, that's true. Don't go do that. Don't go do that. I just read a little bit and I'm like, well, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, nope, never mind. I really just wanted to know when the other one was coming out, but it's not for a while yet. So I know, right, Joe? Stop. I did. I stopped. Okay. Everybody knows what they're supposed to read. Everybody's on track. Lynn.
Look, Joe's Helen. He just stopped me.
Lynn and Helen. I mean, yeah. You can come and listen to the conversation. It's probably humorous trying to watch us figure out what we think is going to happen when you already know what's going to happen, right? Quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're wrong. No, that's
I know, especially if we're I know, like if we're completely off base, they're probably sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, they are so off base. It's not
I
even
know, right?
funny." Or if one of us is right, then it's like, "Oh, oh, oh."
Oh, yeah. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Okay. Happy reading. Happy reading. We will see you next week. Okay. All right. Talk to you then. Bye, you guys.
Bye, y'all.